everybody, Glenn here. Not a tip and trick, and today I have really bad hair day. I haven't had a haircut in like a month because of quarantine, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to put my Australian hat on because it's the hat I always wear, right? I look good. I don't know if I look good. I try. I wanted to talk a little bit today about guitar that is either loved or hated. There's kind of this either love-hate relationship with it, and that is the Gibson BFG. Year and a half ago, and I've talked about this in a couple other videos, I was at my local guitar center and I saw this hanging on the wall. And I love P90s, I really do. And they are a little noisy, but that's a whole other discussion, that there's ways to overcome that. But the sales guy was really funny. Great guy. It was before I started working there as an instructor. And I said, hey, what's this? And it was under, it was locked in the front of the store. And he said, that ugly thing? He goes, I don't even know what Gibson was thinking about when they came up with that. And I said, well, I want to try it. And he was like, you want to try it? I'm like, yeah. Are you a sales guy or what, So I tried it out and it just screamed. I loved it. So I want to kind of do an overview of it, and then I'll talk about what I did just the other day, which is kind of interesting. They came out with two models of these in 2018 with P90s and with humbuckers. And the original history of these, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, they had them in gold and green with the alligator type finish, but it had a kill switch, a humbucker in the bridge, and a P90 in the neck. And it was originally designed as a Gary Moore kind of signature model, a great Gary Moore from Thin Lizzy and blues and solo artist. And Gary Moore's got tone all day long. He was phenomenal. And so in 2018 they came out with these guys, and this was on sale for an obscene price at like $649. So my wife and I were in the store, and I said, yeah, I really, this thing really rocks and stuff. So let's get it, whatever. So I want to kind of run through it a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about what I did the other day. So if you look at the clean sounds, I am running through an old Boss ME70 with some delay and reverb going into a Roland Blues Cube, which also I've got it split off into a Yamaha 6-channel mixer going into an IP2000 tower. So I just have a little bit of a bleed there, so when we do some live performances, that's what I do. So if we look at this guitar from the clean aspect on the neck pickup, it has a nice, clean sound. I've got both tone pods up. If I switch to the middle position, and then to the bridge, all in the middle. Now we'll go to the bridge. Got that up as high as I should have. All right, so let's do the middle again. And then, so let's jam a little bit on the bridge position with some distortion on it. You can hear a little bit of the hum on it. So we'll let's just jam a little bit on it. So on this this guitar, I'm actually running String Joys 10 through 48s. So that's what I'm running on this guitar, and I've been very pleased with it. I tried a top wrap for a while because Joe Bonamassa does it, and then I saw a rig rundown with Slash's Tech, and they just bring the stop tail piece up high, and it relieves a little bit of tension. I did not notice a huge difference with top wrapping as far as ease of playability. The thing with this guy that I really love is that the bare bones, you know, comes from the factory, kind of relic, no fret markers. Can be an issue in a live performance if you've got moving lights and strobes and fog machines and stuff, and you can almost lose your bearing. Although you do have the dots on the side, which is helpful. But at the higher register, and light changes can kind of mess you up a little bit. It's only happened to me like once, but I went out of position, but just pay attention, you're okay. I keep my action fairly low for the stuff I play and a variety of things. So the guitar plays great, and I really like it. So that being said, I'm gonna swap it out for what I did just the other day. I had something on layaway, and Guitar Center was closed naturally, right? But I went in and I traded a couple of things that I had. And what I did was in 2018, actually, I bought a 2018 with the humbuckers. And through some research, because I just love the way this guitar feels, both of them are weight relieved. Now on this one I'm running the Adagio 10 through 46. So the nickels. And you know, there's a slight difference in the feel of the strings. But now with the humbuckers, I was able to, the Legacy site just says, you know, open coil humbuckers, whatever. Through some research and a nice gentleman on Facebook contacted a friend of his at Gibson. They're actually the 496 and 500Ts, which are the ceramic pickups. Again, everybody's all over the map when you look at reviews of these pickups. You either love them or you hate them. I found that if I post them a little lower, they're fine. They're supposed to be kind of the equivalent of DiMarzio Super Distortions. I don't know. I've never used Super Distortion, so I can't speak to that. But let's just do a brief check on this, get the cord out of the way, get my hat back on because I really don't want to scare you guys. So let's bring this up to about the same level that I had the other one. And here's the little hotter than the P90s. Go to the middle position. I think these pickups sound fine. I mean, I don't think they're much different than in sound-wise, at least to my ears, the 490s. So and the bridge is a little brighter. So let's add some distortion onto it, and then we'll, in the bridge position, we'll try the same track that I was jamming with and see how it goes. So really, pretty much the specs are the same, and you know the Grenadillo fingerboards on these guys, which is kind of interesting. They're kind of nice. You're not too dark, not too light, and then the relicing on them is pretty much, you know, similar. I also brought up the stop tail piece high on this one too, and stays perfectly intonated. One interesting fact about this one, the keystones are on the one with the P90s. This was a pre-owned that they had brought into the store because one of my coworkers didn't know whether they wanted to find one in P90s or in humbuckers. So she chose the one with the P90s. Whoever had this one, I don't know where it came from, and somewhere in the country they shipped it down to us. Somebody had installed hip shot locking tuners, which is great. You know, it was a nice little added benefit. But this was a lot more than $649, even used, and they're kind of going up in the used market because of their popularity. Some people say they don't get why Gibson came out with these. I don't know. All I know is I played them live, and I own several Les Pauls, and I named my P90 the Beast, and this one is the Beast too. So I really, really like these guitars. They're just. So I do like these guitars quite a bit, and if you have the chance to find one on the used market, I strongly suggest you pick one up because they're going up in price. I've seen them as high as $1,300 to $1,500 on Reverb and some of the used sites. So if you have that opportunity, I suggest investing in one. If you want something for your arsenal that looks badass, plays badass, is not going to crush your shoulder if you have a 3 or 4 hour gig. By the way, I'm also using these really good Diodario locking straps. They're kind of cool. Are they Diodario? I don't know, whatever. But they work great because they're easy to use. They just pop on and off of the spring. And especially when I almost dropped my 335, popped off the strap, I use it on that because it makes sure it's not going to hit the ground and break the neck and all that. So that's my review of the 2018 Gibson BFG, not Big Friendly Giant or Big Freaking Guitar. It's barely finished guitar. On the P90 side and the humbucker side, I really, really enjoy these guitars. And believe it or not, the one with the P90s, the Beast, is my #1 guitar. I love it. Out of anything I have, it feels like an old sweater that you don't want to throw out, that you put on. Just a comfortable, like the most comfortable pair of jeans that you own. That's how these guitars feel. They're amazing. So anyway, I hope this gave you some information. It's not instructional. It's not a review per se, but just kind of how I feel about my favorite guitars now. And I've got this one in my arsenal now. And I can go ahead and play jazz and blues on this. And it plays phenomenal. So you guys, country's starting to open back up, but still use caution out there. And hopefully we can all go out to a restaurant and order a burger and a beer. It would be a great thing if we could do that soon. I think we're there. So, and all you musicians, hopefully we're all back out playing again. This hit us really hard. So have a great day. God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.